Welcome to Conscious Leadership Journey podcast. Start leading with awareness, authenticity, and impact. Empowered by Gaia Coaching Academy. Explained by AI.
Okay, let's talk about the coach behind the Susanne Rauer. The material gives some background, right?
It does. She's presented as the founder, CEO, and executive master coach at Gaia Coaching, based in Sydney, Australia, founded back in 2014.
And her experience.
Pretty extensive, it seems. The sources mention over 30 years in management consulting, training, mentoring, coaching.
Oh.
Yeah, working with individuals right up to C-level execs. Across a real mix of industries, too. Finance, IT, engineering, marketing, law, public sector.
So she's seen a lot of different contexts.
Looks like it. And she's apparently received quite a bit of recognition. Awards are mentioned.
Like what?
Things like leadership, role modeling, leading light for service excellence, exceeding expectations. Her company, Gaia Coaching, was also named a top 10 leadership development service company in APAC.
Okay, that definitely speaks to a solid track record. Does the material give any sense of her personal style or philosophy?
There's a personal note included that gives a little flavor. She mentions valuing quiet strength, enjoying a fusion of leadership, personal development, lifelong learning, and even throws in a little quantum physics from the multiverse.
Yeah, okay. A bit of personality there.
Yeah, maybe just a touch.
Yeah.
But the core philosophy described seems centered on helping people leverage their unique qualities, make truly conscious choices, and lead using their mind, heart, and intuition.
Mind, heart, and intuition. Okay. Let's get into the program structure itself. It maps out a clear 6-step process. Is there a reason for that specific structure?
The materials suggest it's designed to put both your conscious and unconscious mind at ease, by laying out a clear logical path. Each step builds on the last.
Okay, makes sense. So Module 1 is strategic objective. What happens there?
This one's about looking further out, defining your longer-term vision, specifically looking 5 to 7 years ahead.
5 to 7 years.
Yeah. They use a framework exploring, I think it was 15 different aspects or perspectives holistically to help you paint a really detailed picture of your optimum future.
Optimum future.
The idea is to inspire you to consciously design a successful life, not just let it happen.
That sounds much bigger than just setting career goals. More like a life blueprint.
Exactly. Stepping back for that bigger picture.
Yeah.
Which then flows naturally into Module 2. Primary aim.
Okay, primary aim. So this is the why behind that blueprint.
That's right. The material describes it as digging out your deep sense of purpose, meaning what truly fulfills you. There's explicit goal mentioned, avoiding regrets later on. It's about understanding what really drives you deep down so you can weave that into your choices.
And connecting with that why seems crucial before you get to Module 3, which is Ideas Prioritization.
Absolutely, because Module 3 is about capturing all those ideas floating around, the obvious ones, the creative sparks, the things that just keep popping up.
Getting them out of your head.
Right. Mind to paper, as they put it. And then you apply a prioritization framework.
Okay, but is it just like a standard time management matrix?
Apparently not quite. The sources say it's an adjusted approach. It builds on principles maybe similar to Stephen Covey's, but it's specifically adapted for deep personal meaning.
So it recognizes that for these high achievers, just being efficient isn't enough if something deeper feels off.
Exactly. The framework helps you figure out which ideas genuinely align with that primary aim you just defined.
How does it categorize them?
Into quick wins, things highly aligned and relatively easy to do. Value adds also highly aligned but need more planning, more time.
Okay.
And critically, it helps you spot tasks you might be really good at, but which actually drain your energy.
Oh, identifying those energy drains? That's huge.
Isn't it? The material suggests these are the things you look at outsourcing or automating or delegating.
Freeing you up.
Yeah, freeing up your energy for the stuff that truly matters and aligns with your purpose.
Okay, makes sense. Moving on. Module 4 is values.
Right. This is a deep dive into your intrinsic motivators, the things that really truly drive your decisions, often unconsciously.
Unconsciously?
Yeah, the sources explain values are rooted deep in the limbic brain, the part linked to passion, intuition, gut feelings.
Okay.
So the goal here is to bring those powerful, often subconscious drivers up into the frontal cortex, the logical, rational, conscious part of the brain.
So you're essentially making that intuitive gut feel something your rational mind can understand and work with.
Precisely. The idea is that this lets you make conscious, well-informed decisions without all the second guessing and doubt.
building trust in that inner compass.
Which, as the material points out, is something really successful leaders often learn to do. They trust their gut.
Right. Okay, Module 5, character strengths.
This module uses what they call a left field assessment. It's specifically positioned as different from common tools like DISC or Myers-Briggs.
Left field.
Yeah.
Okay, to do what?
To pinpoint your unique superpowers and your transferable skills, the things you're naturally good at.
Superpowers, I like that.
Yeah. And this module introduces a really fascinating concept, I thought.
What's that?
It's about how your greatest strengths, especially as you get more senior or experienced, can actually become overused.
Overused strength, how does that work?
Well, when a strength is pushed too far or used in the wrong context, it can actually flip and become a weakness. It can lead to frustration or anger or anxiety.
Huh. So something you think is your asset could be tripping you up if it's out of balance.
Exactly. So the goal is to recognize that and bring those powerful strengths back into a healthy balance so they serve you effectively again.
That's a really powerful idea. What you rely on might be causing friction.
It really is. And then finally, Module 6 pulls everything together. Success planning.
Right, the action part.
This is where all that clarity and all those insights from the previous modules get translated into like concrete steps.
No concrete.
You actually design a practical plan for success looking 12 months ahead, then 6 months, then 3 months. And it culminates in creating a focused 90-day game plan.
A 90-day plan. So you walk away with immediate momentum.
That seems to be the aim. Making sure all that deep internal work actually results in tangible forward movement in your life and career.
Continue listening to Conscious Leadership Journey podcast. Empowered by Gaia Coaching Academy. Explained by AI.